Generally, I don't try hard to convince people. So if they do not want to practice, how can we force also? We should not force. But whether you believe in past life or not, we have some past life since birth. Suppose you have gone to a teacher and teacher spanks you on the first day of attending the school. You will have a very difficult time getting ready to go to school on the second day. And if some bad experience happens again, then you will have absolute aversion towards going to school. See? So this is how we form impressions. Samskaras, just because it's a Sanskrit word, we should not dislike it. Samskaras are nothing but impressions. Impressions can be of two categories. It has two components rather. One is a cognitive component and another is an emotional component. Let me explain to you how sanskars are built first of all. Whether you believe in past life or do not believe in past life, but these samskars or the impressions are always formed. Always, no matter who you are. You fall in love with a girl. You kissed her on Alabama Street and Massachusetts Avenue. You spend all night on that corner with her. After 2 months, you break up with her. Okay. You happen to walk by that Massachusetts Avenue and Alabama Street. You are all alone. What will you think visiting that corner? What will go through your mind at that time? So, the impressions haunt us. Take it further. You got married and now you are walking with your wife and you happen to visit the same corner again and you remember your girlfriend. What will happen to your mood at that time? And your wife will ask you, what happened, honey? Why are you so different at this moment? How will you answer? Will you be honest enough and say, I made love with so-and-so once upon a time at this corner? So we have impressions. You try to forget, you might forget. Your memory, you may take drugs and say, okay, hell with it. And that's what we try to forget all the time. You may forgive also, because it's sometimes easy to forgive. When priests or some psychologist comes up and convinces you, you better forgive and get rid of this baggage from your heart. It is ruining you. And maybe you are able to forgive that person and say, okay, maybe it was my mistake. And you take the blame on your heart and your heart becomes a bit lighter when you apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, though the person is not in front of you. So that's why they say it's easy to forgive but difficult to forget. The memory will always be there. Your cognitive part will always be there. You may get rid of the emotional part. And these impressions, they last forever. Let me explain to you a bit differently. Our thoughts, our habits, means actions. We keep on repeating our actions. It creates a kind of a personality in us. It creates a different sort of vibratory state in our heart. Let us say if you are a butcher, you have a job as a butcher, versus you work as a priest in the church, versus a nurse who is looking after a hospital patients. All three will carry a different level of vibrations in the heart. Imagine the vibratory state of a murderer or a rapist. This vibratory state is created by multiple impressions, and these multiple impressions are created by multiple levels of actions, repeated again and again. And that creates our personality. That's why many people who are very sensitive, they look at a photo and say, okay, this is a good person, this is not a good person. Sometimes you have also experienced, especially our sisters, the ladies who are very sensitive, when you are seated in a plane and a passenger who is sitting beside you, even by mistake touches your skin, you feel, that gooey feeling in your heart and say, please don't touch me. You feel like smacking that person at that moment, you see. These sort of feelings are created by the vibratory state of a person, by the repeated actions, and these repeated actions creates impressions in your mind and heart, in your consciousness in short. And this is what we call samskaras. You really do not have to believe in before life or after life. In this life itself, we are collecting so much of garbage in us. So, Heartfulness teaches us how to get rid of all these impressions on a daily basis before they become, very solid or a gross kind of a thing in our heart. So, daily cleaning is very important. To me, daily cleaning is more important than daily meditation. You should always try and take 2 sittings, 2 sessions through a preceptor. You can always use this Hearts in Tune app and say, I would like to sit. And in my earlier days of practice, I would go almost every single day to my preceptor and take sittings. But I recommend you take 2 sittings every week from a preceptor, and they will help in this cleaning process of these impressions much more than we individually can do.